Now, the case against Donald Trump for overturning the 2020 presidential election can now go ahead after it was delayed by dramatic revelations that the district attorney had a relationship with the special prosecutor.
Yeah, Fani Willis and Nathan Wade went out in early 2022, just months after she appointed him to the position, and apparently that now threatens the whole case.
Let's speak to Professor Scott Lucas of the Clinton Institute at University College Dublin. Very good morning to you. My goodness, what a tangled web we weave. Whenever we look at what's happening over on the other side of the pond at the moment, you couldn't make it up, could you?
Well, it certainly is a story that's grabbed the headlines, but it's important for viewers to have a full explanation of what this means in terms of the trial and Donald Trump. So the judge, Scott McAfee, said that it was important that there must be no appearance of impropriety when this case goes to trial. It has to be whiter than white. So he said that because Fani Willis, the district attorney, did have a relationship with the special prosecutor, Nathan Wade, when she says it's now over, that Wade has to be removed from the staff of this case. You know, Willis can remain. She can continue to lead the team that will bring this to trial. Importantly, what McAfee also said is that relationship did not pose a conflict of interest, financial or otherwise. It did not compromise any evidence in the case. And I think most importantly, it did not violate Donald Trump's due process of law. In other words, this trial is still set to go ahead. It's very much going according to the legal book. But the legal book means also that Nathan Wade did have to resign, which he did yesterday.
Yeah, but of course, I mean, I guess what Trump was hoping for was for Fani Willis to step aside, which is the other option, but presumably that would have delayed the case indefinitely.
Yeah, I mean, and you may have Trumpists, including on this channel later on, who are going to try to exaggerate and spin and distort this in an attempt to damn the entire legal system. And I understand why. The attempt here is to prevent any of these cases going to trial because they're having to deal with a man who, while running for president, has already been convicted of sexual assault and of defamation in civil cases. His business has been convicted of malpractice in a criminal case. And of course, he's still facing 88 felony counts, not only over this case, but of cases at the federal level over the alleged theft of classified documents, interference in the 2016 election, and most importantly, that attempt to overturn the 2020 election and hang on in the White House even after he lost.
I mean, it is amazing when you hear that great list of problems that Donald Trump is now facing, and yet clearly we're still going to go ahead and have a Trump-Biden election, aren't we?
Well, because under the U.S. Constitution, you can be a convicted felon. So, for example, let's say that one of these multiple criminal cases not only goes to trial, but reaches a verdict. Donald Trump, as a convicted felon, can still run for the president of the United States. Whether or not he could take office, having been convicted, and if he wins the election, that's a different question for 2025. But no, the fact is we have two different processes here, and we have to respect both. We have to respect the political process. You have to say that Donald Trump has a fair chance at trying to run for the nomination of the Republican Party, which he's achieved, and then the presidency. And on the other hand, you have a legal process which must be upheld. That you cannot try to distort this with politics and prevent a fair hearing for Donald Trump, but also one which reaches a fair verdict, whether that's innocent or guilty.
Mind you,
It's extraordinary.
Can you imagine, as you say, there's nothing to stop him running, but there may be something to stop him taking office. Can you imagine if he won that vote, but then was not allowed to take office? Then there would be uproar.
I mean, we are in the most important election since the end of the U.S. Civil War in 1865, in part because of the seriousness of the issues, whether it be immigration, the economy, healthcare, education, foreign policy, like Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but most importantly, because Donald Trump is trying to break the U.S. system. I mean, he does not think the U.S. system should hold him back from power, saying, I will act as a dictator on day one. In other words, this most important election since 1865, you can choose Donald Trump or the U.S. system, but there is no in between.
That's amazing, isn't it? Thank you so much for explaining it. Thank you very much indeed.